Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Grow Show. My name is Mark Lamberth. I'm your host. And today I'm speaking with Aaron Tuttle, who owns two different franchises, Premier Garage as well as the Tailored Closet in St. George, Utah. Aaron, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for hosting me, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'd love to start just by hearing what services Premier Garage and the Tailored Closet offer to your customers.
Yeah, we offer custom cabinetry. So with garages, we do epoxy floors, cabinets, workstations, bike racks, wall storage, ceiling racks, pretty much anything that you want to pimp out your garage, we can do for you. And that's on the Premier Garage side of the business. And then the sister company, the Tailored Closet, offers any of the in-home options. So closets, pantries, offices, mudrooms, those type of things. So it's organizational related, both for inside the home and in the garage.
I see. Okay. And you were up further north, up near Salt Lake City, had actually territories or franchises of those two different brands. There, decided to move down south of St. George, and so you actually sold those and came down and opened new franchises in St. George. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, I've always been based out of St. George. I was just commuting up there.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
about
Okay.
4.5 hours from St. George here, and over time, my wife kind of said, "Hey, I think we're done traveling. St. George has a lot of new growth, a lot of new construction
Hmm.
here, and so it was evident that I could spend my time here and grow the brand and grow the company here just as much as I could up there." And so I decided, I got 3 young kids, decided to spend some more time at home, and we had a great gentleman that wanted to buy us out up there, so it worked out good. But focused here in St. George and staying here at home.
Gotcha. Interesting. So I'm always really interested in how folks go about the process of deciding to buy into a franchise. You know, it's always a service that's being offered that inevitably, I guess in most cases, someone could start that service themselves, right? Just kind of open their, set up their own shingle, but instead they decide to, put their kind of faith behind a brand that is already created a name for itself, already created processes. Um, how did you at some point in the past, you and your wife kind of faced that decision? You chose to go with these great brands you work, that you're owner of now. How did you choose to make that decision there, Aaron?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've always been passionate about the garage space and organization. I love the outdoors, and so I wanted, you know, I've spending the time doing it. Had other brands or other companies come out to try to help give me bids and help out there, and it was just lackluster. And so it spurred the desire to look into how can we do this better. And looking into it, part of what was missing was some of the things that the franchise offered. So the CAD program, the developed relationships with top tier suppliers, the pre-negotiated pricing, the selections of current trends and colors and finishes, and those were all the things I wasn't good at.
Hmm.
I'm good at. I have an eye for design. I know kind of more of an engineer brain. I know how things work. I want to design around that so it's functional, but obviously look good too. And so the more we looked into it, I actually shadowed a couple individuals who own businesses, both franchises and non-franchises, in different locations: California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Utah, Nevada, and really the consensus came back that the franchises were solid, were set up great, had the best opportunity to come out of the gate successful. And then I just knew that there were some downsides with a little bit of marketing limitations, or the royalties, which can be tough at times, right? But at the end of the day, I knew that I could overcome that just with the added help and support with those relationships and some of the tools that I would have that otherwise I wouldn't.
Gotcha. Amazing. And so you guys were able to just come right out of the gate um, when you started the franchises and just like turn on the business and you just have immediate business, huh?
Pretty much. I mean, you have to. There's some local area marketing. It took us about 6 months to kind of really get our name going and let people know that we're here. Networking's always been something I've enjoyed, and so that helps speed up the process as well. I've
Mm.
done different franchises and licenses in the past. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur, so I was familiar with those models, and I've done my own thing as well. I'm familiar with the pros and cons that that brought, and for this business, I knew it made sense to do the franchise. And we're 4 years in, and I haven't regretted it so far. So
Yeah, that's amazing. Always interested in how different processes and systems, business owners, how they go about setting up processes and systems to deliver the service for their customer really effectively, right? To do it a really amazing job. It's going to get an amazing review. It seems like that's something that franchises often. I mean, if it's a good franchise, a good service, they've got staying power. They're going to be here for the long run. Have really figured out how to do that at like an exceptional level. Um, I mean, you've been a part of other companies before. How have you seen that this franchise model here with Premier Garage and Tailored Closet are able, because of their, I don't know, the scale that they have and the processes and systems that they have around hiring, delivery, everything else, that they're able to give an exceptional product to your customer?
yeah, that's a great question, Mark. Really, I've always broken it down to two different things. You've got the local branch level operations, and that's going to be things like who's doing sales and design for you, who's answering the phones, who's installing the projects, who's collecting money, closing out the accounts, communicating with the customer. And then you have the other level, which is going to be, who's supplying our materials, who's engineered it, is it going to be able to deliver on the expectations that the customer has. And that's where the franchise really came in and helped out. We have a phenomenal product, great process. But on the team level, I've really focused on making sure that we have individuals on our team that have experience in other industries. So we kind of buck the norm there in terms of, our team wasn't comprised originally of a bunch of carpenters or woodworkers or anything really even in the construction industry. We kind of came in from a different point of view: customer service, sales, engineering,
Uh-huh.
warehousing. And that really added to what was already established well in franchising. And it's allowed us we've got great Google reviews. We've got great word of mouth referrals. Again, we're only 4 years in, but we've been able to grow exponentially, even with builder partners, designers, real estate agents, and it's allowed us to grow. And I truly believe it's because on the local level, we've been able to focus on customer first.
Wow, got it. That's amazing. How many folks you have on the team, Aaron?
So we have 6 on the team here, and again, we're just down to the one location here in Southern Utah, but
Sure.
we're very lean and very efficient, and try to keep it as lean as possible. Right? We don't want customers waiting for us, but we also don't want to have guys standing around sweeping in the shop either. So we've been able to grow as needed, but 6 on the team currently.
I love it. And so the company that franchise concepts brand, do they have other types of kind of business offerings that they offer as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So there
amazing.
is budget blinds, window coverings. There's Aussie Pet Mobile, two maids, kitchen
Oh,
tune-up, bath tune-up, a lot of home services. That's kind of
we've actually had a kitchen tune-up guest on the show.
oh, really? There you go. Yep,
Yeah,
they're part of
yeah,
the
that's
Home
great.
Franchise Concepts brand. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, great. Well, Aaron, what does the future look like for you guys with the business? I mean, is it just steadily grow the business each year? Do you think at some point you may look at opening some other types of franchises or some other locations at all?
Yeah, great question. We love the healthy growth. We don't want to take on any debt. We've been able to bootstrap it to this point, and we want to grow organically in a healthy way, knowing that we can continue to meet those expectations and even over deliver. So this year we have a revenue goal where we're able to, continue to grow. About 18% year over year has been
Mhm.
our target number from inception. And we've been able to do that and sometimes even exceed that. A lot of that, again, St. George is a smaller market. We're about 150,000 in the greater St. George area. So it's not big, but as I mentioned before, it is growing. And so a lot of new construction. And we've been able to get our foot in the door with some custom home builders, with some high-end designers, with some real estate agents. And it's really allowed us to accelerate that growth. And so we want to continue to do that, but always have our eye on other opportunities, whether it's a different brand, maybe a closer market. And even I've looked into dabbling into building some custom spec homes as well,
Oh, no
that we
kidding.
can hire services into and take advantage of the booming market. So
Amazing. Fantastic. Well, great, Aaron. What a great story. Really excited about your success. And man, I'd love to have you on here again sometime later on this year, early next year, and hear how things are going.
yeah, would
Um,
love to. I appreciate the opportunity to come on, Mark.
yeah, very cool. If folks are in the St. George, Utah area and looking for um, an amazing tricked out garage or some work on their closets, or if they're a builder looking for kind of a supplier to work with the service, what are some of the best ways to get in touch with you guys?
Honestly, the best way is visit our website, thetailoredcloset.com or premiergarage.com, and it will point you into our showroom. It will point you to our phone number to put in a consultation request where we can touch base with you. But visit the website and we'll reach out and schedule a free consultation.
Fantastic. So that was the Tailored Closet, and what was it? Premier Garage. Tell me that one again.
Premiergarage.com and tailoredcloset.com. Yep.
Oh, Tailored Closet. Just tailoredcloset.com or premiergarage.com. Fantastic, Aaron. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Yep. Thanks, Mark.